Hello and welcome back. I'm Gandor from the Ruby Zoo, and today we're going to be going over the Try Hack Me Box grep. Now I've already got the machine started, let it run for a little bit because as per the notes here, it does take a little bit to get set up. So we have our IP address, and as always I have my notepad here, and I have my IP address and the target box. Let's go ahead into terminal. Let's just get a basic quick little nmap scan going here if I can put the address in correctly. Oh, silly. There we go. That should only take just a minute and I'll hop back when it's completed. Alrighty, there we go. And this quick little scan showed we've got 3 ports open. We got an SSH port, we got a basic web port, and a secure web port. So we'll just note those down over here, and we'll go ahead and start up another scan. This one a little bit more detailed, going through all the ports, see if it finds anything else. We'll come over here while that's running. So the first thing we're going to do is see if we can get anywhere with the basic web port. Oh my gosh, I cannot type in today. There we go. Alrighty, and it looks like we have the Apache default page here. Now, first thing I want to do is take a look at the source code, look for comments. That looks normal. A lot of coding or formatting code. Some more comments that are normal. Text that we see on the page. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that jumps out there. Alrighty, let's go back up here. Let's go take a look at the secure port. Okay, potential security risk head. We'll advance. An invalid security certificate. Not trusted because it's self-signed. Okay. And we get a forbidden. Well, let's take a look at that certificate real quick. So you can come up here and click on this little icon. Click connection not secure. More info. You can click view certificate. That's interesting, it gives us a common name. So now since we have that, let's come over here and let's go edit our host file. And what we can do is, put in the full IP address. And then come after it and just type in what that common name was. We'll save that, get rid of that, close this other window. Now let's just remove the IP address, just type in that common name. Okay, we get the risk again, want to go. Alrighty, so now we're at a web page. Welcome to Search Me. The website is under development. Alrighty, so as always, take a look at the source code real quick. Looks pretty basic. Nothing stands out. The login registration pages. What we see right there. Okay. Let's go take a look at the login page. Might be SQL vulnerable there. Of course, that's the same stuff as we saw before. It's all the stuff up top. And this is all the stuff we're seeing here. So your username login, the password, and the button to log in. Nothing really stands out there, and there's no comments. Let's go look at the registration. It's username, password, email, and what your name is, and then the registration button, and then the scripts, the JavaScript. Yeah, no comments either. Pretty interesting. Looks like pretty basic. Let's just try and see if we can register. Invalid or expired API key. Huh. Okay. Let's come up here. We'll start perp. Let's see if we can capture what that current API key is. Next, start. if you've never used Burp before, it's a pretty simple tool to get used to. So for this one, come over here to Proxy, click Intercept On, and I'll come back over here to Firefox, and I use this plugin, Foxy Proxy. Let's click it. I've already got a profile for Burp set up. And if you've never done one before and you're new to this tool, just come here, click Add, you'll give it a name, you give the IP address and the port that it's using, which for this is simple. If on the dashboard you look down here, and right here is the port that it's using. And then you want to make sure this is set to on. So that way when you come over here, click it, you see how it's changed to green up there and it says the name. So if we refresh this, you'll see this. You get used to seeing this with Burp. What that's doing is adding in a certificate into the browser for the Burp proxy. Alright, so now we're back here. Let's just go ahead, try to register again. We'll forward that. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn this off. Let's take a look at what we captured here. So I was reloading the registration page. And notice this right here was what we looked at in the source code. And when we click the registration button, it runs this from the API. And there's our key. And that's a response that we saw, a little pop-up box. Let's go ahead and send this to the repeater. Nothing really stands out about this API key. So, if you remember, it said that OSINT was one of the tags for this room. Let's see if it says it up here. No. But on the, yeah, here it is. Challenge to test your reconnaissance and OSINT skills. So it means that you're going to have to go to a website outside of TryHackMe to gather some information. So first thing is, let's take a look for what SearchMe is, so we know what we're working with. Visual search engine based in Mountain View, California. Okay, interesting. So my question is this open source? Of course, now it's not letting me go back. I hate it when it does that. And for that, if I can't find it on the main site, I'll just go to GitHub. Let me get signed in here. Let's go up here and do a search for SearchMe. Okay. Search review messages. Yeah, so it looks like there is an open source implementation of this. So, go back here. I wonder if this is on here somewhere. So the easiest way to search for this on GitHub is to go for a code search. So that way we can see if we can find this distinctive statement. And we're going to search me exclamation point, because you remember on the web homepage it had the exclamation point. So we'll go ahead and put that. We'll search for it, and you'll see that it does come back, and it filtered down. We only have 10 results. So this website is under development. Okay, so let's go here. So the normal folder set up this index.php, which is what we're used to here. And there is an API folder and a public folder. Let's go take a look at the API. Okay, we got an upload and a register. Fix remove key. Both are interesting. We'll take a look at both of them. Because anytime I see an Apache server, my first guess is, am I going to be able to upload something to get a reverse shell? And sure enough, there's an upload option here, so that's probably going to be the path we'll go down. So if we look in here, there's the code where the API key should be, but it's not. And one thing I like on GitHub, in the browser, click on history over here. You can go all the way back to the initial comment. We'll scroll down, and there's that bit of code, and there's a key. So let's grab that one. Let's take a look. Is there any other keys in here? Doesn't look to be. So we'll go back to Burp, And in this, we'll replace this key and then send it. Registration successful. Alright, let's go back to our browser. Go to login. Yes, accept. Alright, there we go. First flag. So let's grab that. We'll come down here. Oh, it wants the API key. I forgot that was something it wanted. So we'll come back over here. Grab that. There we go. Alright, what is the email of the admin user? Well, that's quite a jump, isn't it? Let's take a look at this source code. Nothing. Again. Okay. So, since we know there's an upload API, let's see if we can... Yep, there we go. We have an upload page. So, if you've never messed with PHP reverse shells, it's pretty simple. And if you have Kali, you can actually get a file for it pretty quick. Just type in locate PHP reverse shell, make sure to put the dashes, and it comes back with a few different ones here, and I usually like to go with this last one. So we'll just copy the full path there. I'll just do copy. Oh yeah, it wants a, we'll just call it hacker.php for fun. Alright, there we go. So let's go and do a quick edit, because with this there are two things you need to adjust. You'll need to adjust your IP address and the port you want to use. So right here is where we'll put our IP address, my bad. And our current IP is 10.6.23.151. And I normally like to use quad 8 for the port. Let's go ahead and save this real quick. Let's see, is this done? Okay, we have one other port open. Let's come down and add that. Don't know if we'll need it, but it never hurts. Whoops, I accidentally told it to save there. You don't know if we'll need it or not. Alrighty. So, we got that set up. So let's clear this. Let's go ahead and start a listener. Alright, port is good to open. Go here. Upload that. Invalid file type. Only JPEG, PNG, BMF are allowed. Huh. Interesting. Let's go back to the main. Thank you. Alrighty, upload. Ah, magic bits, or bytes. So it's wanting to use these. Okay. So this is actually a pretty simple fix. Let's kill the listener right now. That sounded odd. And let's go back in here. And it's a little trick that you can do to add these magic bytes onto a file if you need to. So we're going to set it up as a JPEG, and if you notice, it's got 8, but this is in hex code. Remember, in hex, it's 2 things take up 1 space. So it's FF, D8, FF, EO, so that's 4. So what we need to do is 1, 2, 3, 4. Add in 4 spaces. We'll save it. We'll run hex editor on it. And you get this lovely blue screen. And as you can see, it's set here. These 20s, those are spaces. And that's what we added. So we are just going to add in the magic there. And down here you can see it says Control X to exit and save. Alright. Now it's saying that it wants a JPEG file. So if we try, I wonder if it's just the magic bits that will allow it. Or if we're going to have to do something with the file name. Well, it says file uploaded successfully. Alright. Now how do we access it? That's the question. before we get too much into it, let's get our listener going back up. So usually when there's a way to upload files, there's usually a directory that's just called uploads. There you go. And if we click on it, it should hang here. If we come back over here, yep, we are in. So it looks like we are www-data. Alrighty, so where are we at? Okay, we're in the root directory. So the Apache web server is normally in var www, so we are going to change into that directory. Let's take a look at what we got. So we got a backup directory, a couple of cert files, default HTML directory, leaks certificate, okay, those are some interesting files, leak checker directory, and then private keys. Some interesting stuff here. Let's see, what are we looking for? Admin user email. Alright, let's go take a look at the backup first. Always start at the top. And what all do we have in here? Haha, user SQL, okay. So we will just cat that out. Alright, there you go. Admin is password. And then right there is his email address. So let's copy that, drop that in. Alrighty. So the next flag was the host name of the web application that allows a user to check an email for a possible password leak. Now in TryHackMe and some CTFs, looking at the format of the flag that they're wanting you to put in can help you. So if you look here, we've got some text, then a dot, then 4 stars, dot, and then 3. Well, we already know that the website is Greprtp, so that's obviously this. So what we're looking for is something that is going to be a subdomain. Now if we go over here, go back, if you remember, we had this directory here. We had an HTML directory. So let's go into the HTML directory real quick. Take a look. This is what we expected to see from the GitHub page, an API in a public folder. Let's go take a look real quick in the public folder and see if anything stands out. Nope, that's what we expected. Let's go back to the API. Add post, config, delete post, edit post, index, login, logout, post, register, upload, and uploads folder. So nothing here that would be a subdomain. So let's go back one more directory. And let's go into that leak checker, if I can spell leak checker right. And we have a check email and an index.php. So I'm willing to bet that this leak checker is going to be our subdomain. So real quick to find that out, so we'll just type that in and add the rest of the website. Yep. So now since we have that, let's come over here. And actually, we'll just leave that running there. I'll just come open up a new tab. And let's see if we can access it. And it's hanging, it's not loading anything. So sometimes in cases like this, when you're doing boxes, you have to make an entry for any subdomains. So let's go back and edit. And we'll come down here. And the nice thing is on the same line, you just put a space and put in another web address. And remember to hit the right buttons when you're trying to save. And it will still resolve to that same IP address. So let's enter now. Huh. Still nothing. Alright, let's clear that S, and it just brings us right back to the Apache page. Let's take a look at this port here. So come here, get rid of that, go to colon, 5113. Does anything happen? Nothing happens with that. So let's Let's leave it as HTTP. Let's try, not the secure, bad request. Okay, so that means it definitely is on the secure path. Okay, there it goes. Alright, so here we go. We've got our email leak checker. So let's go back over here. It says, what's the password of the admin user? Let's grab the admin password or email here. Sorry. Paste that in. Submit. Alright, looks like we have a password. Let's try it out. Get rid of that extra space there. Alrighty, there we go. We've completed the box. Now this one, I think, was a very nice, simple, easy box to help people get into some OSINT, some very basic, searching GitHub for things. And of course, if you didn't notice, up here, there is a little GitHub cat in his binoculars. So that was another little hint of where you needed to go. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. I hope you found it interesting. Hope you learned a few things. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment below. And check out some of my other videos. And I will see you all next week. So long.